Hey YouTube family, how are you guys doing? Hope you're all doing well. It's another nice day here in PEI and we have another guitar on the bench. So this guitar you've seen before in my previous video where I did a comparison of this one, which is a 75th anniversary made in Mexico Strat with a kind of silver sparkle finish. And I compared it against my returned M Musi Capricorn Classic Strat, which is hanging up over there, which cost me 300 bucks. My buddy Jody owns this guitar. He has the anniversary bass from Fender, and he wanted the matching guitar. So this he bought used because he's kind of like me. He wouldn't pay full price for one of these. This guitar is 1,300 bucks out the door, like taxes in, here in Canada. Just wanted me to go over it and change a few things. I'm not a big fan of these saddles and I'm not a big fan of this jack, so we're putting in a pure tone jack. I'm going to put in some solid steel saddles as opposed to these stamped ones. We'll keep the stamped saddles because they're stamped Fender, right? So all of a sudden it makes the design, worth more because the Fender logo is on there. They still suck. I don't care. I hate these saddles, man. And a lot of people hate them too. The only thing that bugs me about Fender is I feel that their prices are inflated for what you get. So let's get going with this. The only thing I did off camera was, if you look at this string tree right here, you'll notice there's a spacer underneath it. I just added that because the E and B string, they were basically on the headstock. Way too much break angle, you don't need that. Just taking these strings off. So the first thing I noticed, you got to take the back plate off to take the strings out because, look, the holes don't line up with the cut in the plate. When you go to the $1,000 Fenders, you get this. Thicker block. You see how this is elongated over here? It's because the trem screws into the block. And you know what? You get the same dust and powder, like the same crap that you would find on cheap guitars as well. It's all in the Fenders too. Like the process is the same, right? It's a factory and they build these, and the polishing compound, buffing compound, they don't take the time to clean all that out because time is money for them, right? I'm just tightening these tuner heads, and these have a flat tip screw on them, so they're all a little bit loose. These tuners feel good. I don't feel any slop in the gears. They are closed back, so you can't lubricate the worm gear inside here. For Fender branded tuners, right? They all have a bunch of play in the post. So just like my, $300 Earl Slick guitar, those tuners were good too, but they all had play in the post. So, I guess it is what it is. But for me, if I spend $1,000 on a guitar, I want zero play in these posts. All right, gonna swap out these saddles right quick before taking off the neck. You guys don't have to watch me do that. Just polishing the bridge plate. Yeah, nice and shiny. Just got these new saddles in. See that? Nice. All right, we're just gonna change this input jack out. Just a typical jack that I find on all budget guitars. What my buddy Jody wants to install is a pure tone jack. For those of you who've never seen them, they average between $10 and $15 for one of these, depending on where you are. They wire the same way. They just have one positive and one negative, so that's, not a big deal. But they have 4 connections. This pure tone jack grounds at the sleeve. The shaft of your jack goes in. And it also grounds with 2 tabs at the bottom here. So you're going to hear one click. That's the tip of your jack going through the negative sleeves right here. And then you're going to hear a second click. There you go. And now it's connected from both sides. Just a really solid jack, and there is no play in this whatsoever. Definitely threaded through the body. Even on a $1,300 Fender, they don't bore these holes out so that the screw is only screwing into the neck. So I'll have to bore those out. And is there an indexing hole in this? No, there isn't. Let's see how tight this neck is in the pocket. I would expect Fender to be pretty tight at a $1,300 price point, but as you can see, it's pretty loose. It just drops in there. It's not very tight, right? So again, is there anything wrong with that? No, but the only problem is it's a $1,300 guitar. Stuff like this just bothers me. And that's why I don't buy Fenders anymore. I love them. Don't get me wrong. Love Fender. Always have. As a kid in the 80s, this is all I played. Just got tired of pumping money into them to mod them, to upgrade the stuff that was in it, and then selling them down the road to get something better at a loss because I sank too much money into it and it just wasn't worth that anymore. But yeah, that's kind of why I started doing kind of the budget thing, because then I can mod them like I want and still have something that's worth what I have into it. So there's your indexing hole right here. Then there's a bunch of other holes in there. It looks like they had little nails in there. Maybe they must have had. Maybe those were like the stick that they put in here to hold the guitar when it goes out to paint. 1, 2, 3, 4 little holes in the neck pocket, which is weird. But because it's a Fender, that's okay. But if this was on a budget guitar, whoever was reviewing it would be like, "Oh, look at this! Look at the crappy job they did at the bottom." I don't know what it's there for. It's not going to affect anything because it's not typically something you would see on a $1,000+ guitar. So let's pop this pickguard off. I would like to see some shielding paint in here or some shielding tape right from factory. I don't care that it's made in Mexico. I don't care that it's made in China. I don't care that it's made in USA. If it's going to be over $1,000, all those little details should be taken care of. Right on. I think we got some shielding paint in there. Perfect. We have El Nico pickups. There's a number on the back, but I don't know what they are. 943010. Just plastic wire. It's not insulated cloth wire. You have a wafer type 5-way switch. Full-size pots. You got the option of a humbucker up here and a humbucker down there. Very nice. Some weird little hole up here. That must be another indexing hole. Yeah. Shielding paint. Thumbs up for that. So just looking at this neck now. There's no major fret sprout. They are a little bit sharp, like on the angle that they filed, but I'm just going to use like a sandpaper like before I crown them, and I'm just going to go up and down the fretboard here and take some of that edge off. And then I'm going to sand the back of this neck and make it just a little smoother. We're good there. And these are not 4mm truss rods, they're 5s. I would suspect at $1,300 out the door that these frets are all going to be level. Oh, well, okay. Not this one. Yep. That's good. Oh, another one here. This one's high. There you go. That's it. It's a super nice and smooth neck. There you go. A little bit of grease. Very nice. All right, ready for reassembly. 3/16 drill bit is perfect for these screws. So now they're not treading into the body. Last string. There we go. Just had to tighten this claw because as I was tuning it, the bridge was coming up and up and up, and it just wasn't going into tune. All right, got the action down where I need it. The bridge has been tensioned to where it needs to be. The height across the bottom of the bridge is perfect. It's not tilting backwards or upwards, it's straight across. Neck is pretty much straight now that the frets are all level, not an issue. And I got the action as low as it can go for a 9.5 radius. So now we just have to set the intonation. The strings are a little high at the nut, so I'll probably file those down a bit. I'm not going to make you sit here while I tune intonation. I'll lubricate with some Big Ben's nut sauce. Nope, I'm not making it up. Okay, it's done. So we got the new saddles, all nicely intonated. String alignment's perfect. Frets turned out great. Relief is like practically zero, very little relief. Action, nice and low. As low as you can get it on a 9.5 radius. Nut slots have all been filed for the proper height at the first fret. Tuners were all tightened. They were all loose. They're great. There's no slop in them at all. However, the posts are all loose. But with the string tension, you know, they don't move. And they'll hold tune fine. Installed a little spacer underneath that string tree. Had to adjust the springs back there. Had to tighten that claw to get proper tension. The bridge height is about a credit card width all the way around. So you can bend it back just a bit and forward. But springs are tight enough that it doesn't get pitchy when you're bending strings. And we got the pure tone jack installed as opposed to the factory one. And we sanded down the back of the neck to make it even more smooth and friction free. So now to go back to the title of this video, is Fender better? The answer to that question is another question. And that answer would be better than what exactly? And I guess another one would be, and how much money are we talking about? Everything I did to this is how I'd want to receive it. For $1,300, I should be able to take it off the shelf at the store, take it to a gig that very night, plug it in, tune it up, and play, and have zero issues. And that wasn't the case with this guitar. Like it took me 3 hours to do all of this work to get this guitar set up correctly. Even at $1,300 out the door, these guitars are not gig ready. So how much money do you have to spend when buying a Fender guitar that you can literally walk out the music store onto the stage, plug in, tune up, and play? And have this guitar perform like it's something you've been playing for years? Yep, the name is on the headstock, but if it wasn't, would this guitar still have the same value? I think it should. I think the name on the headstock doesn't matter. I really don't. I don't think the print, this is just a print. That's all it is. It doesn't add functional, giggable value to the guitar. You can put whatever name on this that you want. The guitar is still going to play the same. If I put masking tape on this, it's still going to play the same. Right? So, and I know some of you are going to be saying, oh, yeah, well, resale value, and there's a whole history. There's no history in this. This thing is like a 4-year-old guitar. It came out in 2021. Just a piece of wood and a neck, and they built it in a factory, and they slapped some stuff on it. It went down the line. They put it together, sold it in a store, and some guy bought it for $1,300. The print didn't make the guitar better. I still needed to spend 3 hours of my time and some of my parts to make this better. But for many people out there, years and years of marketing and advertising and in-store advertising and promotional stuff. August is Fender month at whatever music store, right? Like all that stuff over the years, it works. That advertisement works, man, right? So people automatically assume that Fender is just a step above. And I believe that it should be. There's nobody making this style of guitar or a Tele style guitar. Nobody should be able to come close at a specific price point to Fender. Nobody. Right? So if I buy a $500 Fender out of a store, there shouldn't be any guitars out there at $500 that would come close to Fender's $500 quality. You understand what I'm saying? That's kind of what I mean. If I buy a $2,000 Fender, there shouldn't be another guitar out there for $2,000 that would come close if it's a Strat style or a Tele style. Fender should have the monopoly on their design. Nobody should be able to touch them. Guitar players that play these types of guitars, we all know that that's not the case. And that's my issue with Fender. It's not that I don't think that Fender is better. I just think that Fender cuts a lot of corners, but they don't adjust their pricing. And people who don't know about guitars, who didn't tear them apart, who don't play gigs, they walk into a store and they make a purchase and they walk out of that store proud, thinking they have the best of the best. And that is just not the case. So, let's see if this thing will hold tune. Clean tone, just going to a Quilter Super Block, my little pedal board, and here we go. Nice and quiet, no noise whatsoever, and here we go. That's it for me, guys. Is Fender better? You guys decide. Jody, I'll tell you what, this thing is better. Hope you like it, pal. You guys take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.